Hey guys, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! From Scratch. In this series, our goal is to build the most competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck possible through only trading and no buying of cards and entering tournaments for our prizes and trading with what we pull. So far in the series, we actually have made some major upgrades and got some really good advancements so far. In just 2 weeks, we actually have a deck I'm pretty comfortable with playing competitively. We have a lot of tournaments to go through. I'm trying to record as many matches as I can in tournament. With that in mind, I hope you guys enjoy the series. And let's just hop into it. So let's go through the deck that actually won quick and see how much we're looking at price-wise for this if we were to play a fully built branded Despia deck. And it's $977 if we order everything on TCG Player. That is absurd. Oh my god. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon, but it is kind of a good benchmark for us to look at. Like, this is how much we'd have to be spending, and it's definitely fair to complain that paying $1,000 to play a competitive deck does really suck. But we're going to try to see what we can do without it. We actually have a regional coming up next month too for it. With that in mind, if you guys do like this series, remember to click that subscribe. There'll be one going up every Friday. And I try to record my matches when I can. Obviously, some tournaments it's just not possible. Specifically, the Tuesday one I go to has quite a bit of kids. I don't want to record the kids without their consent. Obviously, they're not adults. If it's my kid, I don't care if I have to play him. But yeah, that tournament specifically has like 5 or 6 kids that go to it. I don't want to have to record, kind of jumpy throughout it. But yeah, let's just get into it then from here. Alright guys, so with this episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! From Scratch, I'll be showing you guys the new updated deck list. We had a lot of big stuff happen over this past week. We ended up winning a mat, a very good one at that. So we get to retire this bad boy after only 1 week. As you can tell, it has just been sitting in my bag. So it's got this natural curvage to it. But we no longer have to use this. We ended up winning the only mat I think would be right for this series. Shabam. We ended up taking first on the Saturday mat tournament playing this deck. This is the newest updated build because we played 3 tournaments last week. We played at a small one on Tuesday. We ended up literally pulling nothing. I took all Donna of Majesty hoping to pull anything. I didn't even pull a Tragedy. I was like, okay, a Tragedy would at least be nice because it at worst can just recycle our extra deck, so it might be it can recycle our graveyard, so it might at worst be playing it for just that. We didn't even get that. But we did, winning this mat, we also got half a box for it. And with that half box, we ended up pulling Lord of the Heavenly Prison, which you'll see on screen, which allowed us to get a lot of stuff for this deck that was really important. So let's just go into the deck and see what changes I've made, essentially. So to start off with, we obviously still play the 3. We don't have Alibra yet, so we're still stuck with playing these 6, our searchers for Branded Fusion. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Along with those changes, I decided to play 3 Fallen of Albaz now. I just want to see this card in my hand as much as possible because of Branded and White, because of the poly we traded for, which you'll also see when we'll do the binder update. And I wanted to just like make sure I had as many good cards in my hand as possible, especially for my extra deck. I thought this card's just insane going second, like it's gonna force something, and it's really, we have 9 normal summons, and these can just be used as poly fusion materials anyways, so, and we just need more monsters. Until we have like rounded openings and Alibers, like just having more monsters that are summonable is gonna be really nice, especially when we're trying to go for like fusion plays. 3 Albion still, Albion's crazy, I love this card, it comes up so much for so many different things. And then we actually have the Despia cards now. I'll show you guys, I'll talk about the trades a little bit, but yeah, these were huge. These are some of the most important things we got the whole tournament, or like from our trades. Just having these 2 alone sets up the Branded Infusion plays to be so relevant in terms of like we can set up double Mirror Jade and stuff to like threaten our opponents, so huge. I mean, like this is insane. This getting to this is also insane. These 2 cards are like just broken in terms of like getting the Branded red plays going. 1 Tragedy Mercurier. I think this card's still good. There's a lot of situations now, I'll especially like show you guys how I'm like using it, where this is extremely relevant. Then we have the Light Hex Sealed Fusion and Eldritch the Golden Lord as our new light targets. Yeah, these cards are insane. These are so relevant. I know on the Sunday tournament, if I had picked this up beforehand, I would have won the tournament, no doubt in my mind, or at least would have made top 8. Ended up coming in 9th in a case tournament. It was the most upsetting thing imaginable. I was like, okay, we're gonna win. I like went X2 and I was like, okay, cool. There's like barely anyone at X2. There's barely like anyone else at X2 anymore. We played 6 rounds. I went 4-2 in 6 rounds. But it didn't cut it, unfortunately. It was so upsetting. but it is what it is. And then we play Triple Valor. Yeah, this is still the same, just our hand trap ratios. I think either DD Crow or Stallmeister to be my next pickups for hand traps. I think those are both like really solid. So I think, yeah, we're kind of just stuck on like these 6 hand traps until we get more. Ash, Imperm are probably out of the budget. Kind of hard to trade for too. Not a lot of people just have spare Imperms sitting around. But if we do get to that point where we can find spare Imperms, I'm definitely picking up spare Imperms. So yeah, we got that's our main deck monster lineup. It's actually what, 12, 17, 23 monsters now. We are not running traps anymore. I'm so happy. As much as I love flipping trap cards, I love being proactive even more. I love being able to like threaten the board with monsters and do stuff. Flipping trap cards isn't proactive, and it leads to like more hands that are awkward, especially going second, but it served its purpose for what it was, because now we actually have a functional deck. 3 branded fusion, I mean, this is obvious. Nothing changing there. The new card that I think is like super crazy, we ended up trading for one of these the week before. We pulled one of these on from our bode boxes, or half a bode box. We pulled I think we pulled one of these, and I ended up trading for the third one in like a small trade that someone just kind of like threw it in at, which was really nice, just to give me this as my third copy. I don't know if I'm gonna continue playing 3. It might be a 2 of, but when you draw this with like when you draw this and you resolve it with a dragon, it's so strong. It's the reason it's one of the other reasons I'm playing Fallen of Albaz at 3. I think this card is crazy. And then the final reason I'm playing Fallen of Albaz at 3, Book of Moon. This was a huge pickup. This card is insane. For a 50-cent card, this does so much in the deck. It guarantees they can't like just imperm your Albion. This basically just says you beat Imperm Valor, which are like super big threats. It's also really good defensively. There's a lot of situations that come up where you go like normal summon Albaz, they chain like Imperm Book, and you just go Book, or they chain Imperm Valor, you just go Book, and it completely beats it. Also defensively, this is super relevant. Just being able to flip down a threat. Like I played the mirror. I played a mirror a lot in the tournament, and this card just carried me through so many situations. There's a matchup where I played versus Chaos Dragons, or not Chaos Dragons, where I played versus Dragon Link, and he made Seals, Savage, and I think Chaos Ruler on board. I think that was the end board. And I go Branded Fusion, he negates it with Savage, which was expected. I go normal summon Albaz, he goes Seal Effect. I discard, he goes Seal Effect. I chain Book, he has to bounce his own monster. And then I fusion with the Chaos Ruler, I believe. Yeah, so I fusion with the Chaos Ruler after that, and then I'm able to go, this was a stupid play. Fusion with Chaos Ruler. Oh, and then he brings out Absol Router, and I'm able to just go Mirror Jade banish Absol Router. Just actually cracked. And then one poly. I ended up picking this up in like a pretty good trade. We ended up getting rid of one of the Seafrits while they were still kind of high. This was like 3 days after the structure. I think we traded a Seafrit and a Levineer for this. They thought this was the DT version, I believe, and that's what they priced off of, which I'm fine with. It's only like $1 more, but yeah, we ended up getting it for a decent price. The one Foolish, I ended up trading, I believe, Token Collector and then like a couple like random supers from my Burst of Destiny packs for this and the Golden Lord. I 100% believe if I had like all this stuff ready for that case tournament, I would have won. I wasn't playing that. I was still playing like the deck you'll see in the video without really any other changes. I kind of just like played that for the whole weekend. So like you'll watch the matches, and that's kind of what I played. It was like 3 T-Taboo, 3 Strike, 3 Extrav, and then none of the like good combo pieces. Like I didn't have this. I didn't have the broken cards, which is a problem. I was definitely just going Branded Fusion, Send Valor quite a bit, which is not ideal. I didn't have those, and I'm just gonna go through like what was changed in the deck. So I had the books early. I was playing, I believe, so without these 6, and then I'll just go through like what was drawn in the deck. I believe these were the changes. I believe it was 3 Extrav, 3 Strikes. I picked up Strikes, which now I kind of regret, but they might end up getting decided later on. And then 3 of, what is that stupid card? 3 Cheetah in the main. And these were what was in place of them, and I definitely think like these are way better. So hopefully we'll be performing better, which I can already confirm I have at the one turn when I played at. The deck is already just a lot stronger than what it was. Just off my like last turn when I played in results. 1 Gold Sark. Gold Sark is even better now that we have Tragedy. 1 branded in white. 1 Call By, 1 branded in red. Yeah, this card's insane. These are all just really good 1-ofs essentially. Same with Foolish and everything. Yeah, we have a lot of good 1-ofs now, which is really huge. I think that's one of the big things you need is like all the good 1-off cards that are part of your engine, or all the broken stuff like Sark, Book of Moon, or sorry, I have Slipwood Twins. Sergeant Foolish having more targets is huge. And then to round our deck out, we play our traps. These are still insane. I actually won a match off flipping this card for 4 and then hitting my opponent. He had me under Gozen, and like we were basically out of resources, and he had like just an Eldritch the Gold Lord on board, and he was all out of Elf Traps. I flipped this card, summoned 4 tokens, and I just go swing, crash, swing, swing, swing for game. Absolutely insane. And then these just being able to be resources is insane. This card's also just good for an interaction. So yeah, that's the deck. 40 cards right now. Really comfortable with how it's playing. I think we're just basically missing like albaz and Guardian Chimera before I'm like, this deck is actually like really solid. I actually like the main deck a lot with the ratios we have right now, other than I just wish we had albaz. Then we'll go to the extra deck. I think this is what's also, this also changed quite a bit. So we had a couple of trades in here that were relevant. I guess I'll go through the new ones first mainly. So the main new ones we got were Quartitus, Borlode Furious, and Despian Prostinian. This was gotten early on. These I traded for at the Taste tournament. These were like my big pickups in that my Tuesday locals that I played, which we'll go over later. So yeah, these are the big pickups I had. This was part of the trade for the Heavenly, the Lord of the Heavenly Prison, and this is one of the big cards we definitely won. This makes the Despia cards like infinitely more playable in this deck, because before we had to make our other stuff with them, and we don't even have Dragos Stapelia yet. So without Dragos Stapelia, there's really just nothing to summon with the Despia cards, so I couldn't play them. Then I got this, and they just became instantly viable. We also pulled the Ad Libitum. I don't think I did that, but you'll see that I guess in what the pack openings. So yeah, got those. Awesome, really important. And then our other ones, we'll just do our 1-ups first because it's easier to pull the 1-ups out. So these are the 1-ups. I think these are all like relatively good. I did get Contact Seed once. This card's relevant in that situation. So I mean, it is what it is. This isn't the best, but it's still okay. These are both like just searchers. Titanic Light comes up for just damage. I definitely think this is like the next one that's gonna get cut. Honestly, it's not that relevant. This also comes up specifically to search Mercurier for an interaction, which has been relevant to me a couple times so far. I believe the situation was like, I already had Branded in red, so I used my Mirror Jade effect, banishing one of their monsters, and I searched in the end phase for, I did end phase search at Mercurier, and now I had Branded red Mercurier on the follow-up. And then obviously these are just like these are pretty much gonna stay this way for like the rest of the time until I just get like all the really broken shit like Chimera. But 3 Albion, 3 Lobelia, and 3 Mirror Jade. Nothing different there. Insane. Triple Lancia. Actually, these were picked up. I didn't have them before. I was still playing kind of the same side deck where I was like 6 Taijus, Dark Ruler no more. What was the other crappy one? I was playing another. I believe it was another one of the traps. Warning Point. Lancia is just really solid. I think it's not like amazing right now, but it's a cheap hand trap budget option. I think Crows will end up coming in, or Stallmeisters like I said, but I think for now Lancia is pretty solid. Kaijus are insane. Kaijus are actually probably my favorite side deck card that I had all weekend, like the whole tournament, even with like the old stuff. Just being able to go like Kaiju Fallen of Albaz was so relevant into like every matchup. Dark Ruler, also just still really good. Like it's just generically a good card. I don't think I'd ever be like not play Dark Ruler. I don't think there's gonna be a time like being able to go Dark Ruler and then go Fallen of Albaz is like so broken into like so many different decks. I played Tri-Branded in the finals, and I believe I just like he made us full board combo, and I just Dark Rulered him, and his board was too big, and he didn't have the double Dragon Lords so that he could properly clear his board to go for Revolt. So I was able to basically just get a free board clear on him because I didn't like Dark Ruler Taiju, cleared his extra monster zone, put it in there, and it blocked his whole zones up. D-barriers, still good, still really good in like a lot of matchups, like Sword Soul, Sword Soul and Branded are like the most popular ones. This carried me in Branded match in top 4 for this mat. Game 1 I just won. I won the die roll, and I just basically just won the game for free. Game 2, he swept me. I opened garbage and I couldn't play. Game 3, I had D-barrier plus combo, and it was just there's nothing to do. And then for the rest of it, Triple Twin, which we picked up too. This is huge. I hated playing Eldritch before this. I played like 4 Eldritch, 5 Eldritch so far, and Alright, so let's jump into the matches. We have round 1 of this tournament versus Sky Striker. Unfortunately, we kind of break. We end up having to just go set 2 pass, and he opens up Prosperity, reveals Lightning Storm, and I know that game's just essentially over from here. He normal summons the Rain. Yeah, I'm just like, you just have it. There's no way to recover. I have 3 cards in hand. None of them are very strong. I believe I opened Sword and Retribution in this, so I could have set 4 and Book or something like that. So I could have literally set my whole hand. Unfortunately, it's just how it works sometimes. We go into game 2. We Taiju Shizuku. We go, I believe, normal summon Fallen of Albaz. Or no, normal summon Tifa for Dragon Magic. Discard Book of Moon. We have another Book of Moon, so we know that even if he has the imperm instead of double anchor, we're totally fine. But he lets it go through, and I'm like, okay, maybe he just opened double anchor then. And as you'll see, he did not. Unfortunately, specifically for this match, is it this one? I think it's this match. I wasn't able to record the whole one if I remember right. It might have been one of the other ones. The problem I was having was that I didn't preemptively set up my phone to have enough space. I didn't delete the old videos, and I also had like 30 gigabytes of data from Audible audiobooks on my phone, and I didn't even realize that. I looked at I went to look at my storage to see what was taking up so much space. I was like, I have a 128 gig phone. Between my apps and everything, and then like having like 30 gigabytes of audiobooks downloaded, I was like, oh yeah, I should probably get rid of these. So I cleared out pretty much all of those except for the current one I'm on. But yeah, back to the game. We go for the Albion here, pretty simple. He imperms it. I go Chain Book, I get into Borreload Furious Dragon, which is one of the new cards we had actually picked up. I think I was talking about that. That was just traded for a call by, really simple small trade. Because it's like a 50-cent card. And then like I could use a call by it. So works for me there. I get the simple card here. We had a Borreload Furious specifically. I don't think it was correct to make this here because they can just Shark Cannon it. But essentially the game plan here is we go Borreload Furious. We wanted to clear his other set card and get Albion on the end phase, which this does perfectly. And then we are able to add our I believe Branded or Red or Albaz Fusion, and we are able to pop a little bit, but he does Afterburners pop our Borreload Furious Dragon, which is just, and we chain it so he doesn't pop our set card. But it is incredibly annoying that he does get that, so nothing you can do there about it. Just really solid from him, but we were able to grind this out. He goes Shark Cannon, we chain Branded and Red here. He chained Shared Ride. Kind of annoying, but not really that big of a deal either. We're able to go for Lubellion. And then his Borreload Furious, he resolves something Borreload Furious. The plan is to discard here. We discard the Branded and High Spirit specifically so we can set it in or we can add it back to our hand in our end phase so we can use it next turn if we need to. I actually really like that part of Branded and High Spirit. The fact that if you're going into fusions on your opponent turn like you're supposed to, the card's absolutely insane. Grinding out here, we're able to stick our Mirror Jade, which he's forced to deal with essentially, by either crashing or swinging in. And we're able to shuffle back our Albion so we have more follow-up resources and another Albion to send. We go into Mirror Jade here. Yeah, pretty just simple, standard. We're just going to Mirror Jade off stuff. Luckily, I think with the new support, I can go into better stuff with Mirror Jade. I really need a Gyro Spellia. I think that's like the biggest thing I'm missing right now in terms of like really cheap stuff that we just need, that we just haven't gotten yet in this Gyro Spellia. We're able to go Mirror Jade here. We cleared the Borreload Furious Dragon, and he just really doesn't have too much of follow-up. For this game, we end up taking this game here because I believe we go activate Branded Fusion on the next turn into him having like a single Shark Cannon or Widow Anchor alive, and yeah, it's just a pretty quick cleanup from there. But like I said, we missed some of the footage on this one, just my recorder wasn't correct. And then we go into game 3, and I win in time. He managed to go first. I basically just hits me for 3k, and then on the follow-up, he really doesn't have anything going for him, so I'm able to just go push damage with a Kaiju. Simple shit. Kaijus are crazy in this deck. Going into round 2, we are playing a Despia Mirror. I believe I opened Branded and White if I recall correctly. I opened High Spirits, Branded and White, and I'm able to just kind of like fully set up my graveyard.
This is after you pay cost. You're paying cost by sending this list, by sending the Albaz back to the deck. That's what that says.
So yeah, not too crazy of gameplay here. And Branded and White, we had in hand, so we're able to just go Branded and White. We are able to end on the Mirror Jade here, which is pretty sick.
I never played that card because it was too difficult. I know it took me a couple.
So we are sped up a little bit.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Just because this was really long before. We're only up by like 20%, but 20% does make the voices a little strange. I actually don't like my play here. I should have gone for Lubellion. I don't know if I had access to it actually, looking at my cards. But assuming I had access to Lubellion, I definitely should have just gone for Lubellion in this situation. Or no, I totally had it. It's just a dart. I could have just used my kid on board. Gone Lubellion, sent Lubellion back, still triggered Albion. Like, I definitely played this incorrectly. Now that I'm like better at the deck, I was still like not perfect here. We definitely just could have made Mirror Jade pass, and we were totally just in the money for being able to interact, for like being able to store Mirror Jade pass, and there was nothing you could really do. But we do get Super Pollard, and he does have combo, so we just go into game 3, because all I have is a Veiler. Or sorry, game 2. I'm able to go X-Trap, draw 2, set 2. We actually don't have a starter, so we just pass turn. But if I remember right, we do have, I believe it's Bookum, or it's Called by the Grave Strike with Veiler in hand, so I think like I'm super comfortable in the situation I'm in here. He goes Fright for Fusion, whatever. Scary card, but it's a +1, but it's like only kind of one. Just did some bodies. I actually don't think the package is like that crazy. I really don't like when the times when I see this deck when they just draw like none, or they're just like resolving like multiple of these in their opener. I think opening multiple of these cards always sucks. Branded opening, we have the Veiler though, like I said, so it's not too big of a deal. We had a lot, we just opened defensives in this hand, and I believe we ended up, we Veiler this, because I was like, okay, we can't actually stop a Branded Fusion with this hand. We don't have Ash, we don't have Warning, Judgment, anything like that. We go Veiler on this, and of course, you know, when you hand trap someone, they always have the follow-up, right? Every single time. And yep, there it is, Branded Fusion. Goated. Just hard drawed anyways. Can't do anything. I think my opponent thought at this point he definitely just had this game in the bag. But we actually are able to Call by the Grave one of the summons. He goes Mirror Jade effect, trying to get to Branded in red. We had Call by the Grave his Tragedy. So he really needed access to Branded in red here to make a play other than to just go Mirror Jade pass. He goes Mirror Jade effect, banishes his own monitor, it banishes his own Aluber, and then on our like response to that, we ended up striking the Albion in end phase. So there was really nothing he could. He had no actual interactions on our turn at all. So we're able to go for a Mirror Jade Fusion, go into our own Mirror Jade. We're going to so we're able to go Fallen of Albaz, discard Fallen of Albaz, go into our own Lubellion, into Albion, into Mirror Jade here with his board, allowing us to push damage and get our own follow-up setup. The reason we want to go to Lubellion or like Albion, because he has the Mirror Jade effect, and like he triggered the Mirror Jade effect already, so we're kind of forced to go this route. And then this game actually took quite a bit, just because like, look how long I fucking shuffle for. I need to stop that. What am I doing? Especially because I know I'm going back into deck at some point here. Why was I shuffling for so long? Yeah, I'm gonna start shuffling for less time, especially when I know I'm going back into deck, assuming Albion goes through. But yeah, we go for that. We clear his Fallen of Albaz. He clears our own board. I believe we just set Branded in red pass. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm almost 100% we just go Branded in red pass, and then we go on the follow-up. Or no, we had a Fallen of Albaz on our opponent's turn, I believe, with the Branded in red summon Mirror Jade out, if I'm remembering everything correctly. So yeah, on his turn we go Branded Fusion. He took 55 last turn, and we go Branded Fusion. He activates the bell here, which is correct. But I'm looking, and I was like, oh, I just hit you for game. I'm like, oh yeah, I literally just go swing for damage, and we win the game right there. And then we end up tying because we only had like a couple minutes left of time. He just goes first, and he can't do the damage to win. He just goes. He gets into his main phase when he makes me go first, and he just can't push the damage. So nothing you can do there. Eldritch Zombie World, most incredibly fun. Eldritch Zombie World with like six main deck floodgates. If you're not including Zombie World, if you're including Zombie World, I think it's 9 technically. But yeah, we go Keeper of Dragon Magic. He just ashes it. I literally have nothing. I pass turn. And he's able to go for Jackal Boatland and kind of like mount a little bit of a comeback. But my sets are actually Double Book of Moon, which are like pretty solid interactions. He goes Sanguine, sure, it is like, it's whatever. But this summons Jackal Boatland, which I'm like super like, oh yeah, I forgot this card existed. This deck's actually like, I actually like kind of like this deck. It's pretty interesting in terms of like what it does. So then he's able to bring the Ash out to go for like synchro plays, which is obviously really good. We like synchro plays. So now we finally into match number 3. We're facing off versus Zombie Eldritch. I will say this was the last match I was able to record. Like I said, I didn't really have much space on my phone, even after deleting those videos. This is about a 30-minute video and then two 40-minute games. So unfortunately, I actually missed that final part of it, but it is what it is in reality. So going into the game, he goes into a turn 1 Golden Lord with a what I know is Sanguine set, plus
I will end a main.
1 Conquistador, and then 1 Unknown card. So he goes Sanguine, summon Jackal Bolin, and then Jackal Bolin summon back Ash, if I remember correctly, to give himself combo on board here, which is like a relatively solid play. I go Keeper of Dragon Magic set 2. My hand was not great, obviously, as you can tell, because I didn't hand trap him at all. I think I had a Veiler though, which is like relatively strong. So I think that ended up like carrying me quite a bit in this matchup specifically. Go into a situation where he has Hulk plus Jackal Bolin. I believe I Veilered the Hulk, if I remember correctly, or I might have booked the target for Hulk. If I'm not 100%, I don't 100% remember correctly. But he goes Vampire Fascinator, summons my Keeper Dragon Magic back, which is whatever. Fascinator is a really cool card, 100%. But he's locked into zombies now, so I'm not really like threatened by an access code or anything, so I'm not like super concerned. I don't feel like I need to book him or anything like that. And then he goes summon back, and then he goes into one of my personal like favorite like obscure ranked 4 monsters, which is Yuki Onna. It's a quick effect. It's essentially like a quick effect in perm whenever a monster is summoned from the graveyard. Kind of a cool effect. It's not really relevant here, unfortunately, for him. But he does send this to get Golden Lord on board. I was pretty much like preemptively prepared for this, knowing that I would be facing a down or gold, knowing that I held the book here for this push, because I was like, okay, that's a lot of damage I did not want to be dealing with. He swings in. We book here to protect ourselves from dying. It's just unfortunately necessary. But he does chain White Destiny here to just end on another Golden Lord after we book it, and then we're able to go for a combination of Mirror Jade to banish his Golden Lord that had been booked after getting our search off, and we get High Spirits back in the end phase, and then we're able to resolve another one of our Branded Spell and Traps here, which is to get Fallen of Albaz out and then fusion with his Albion that's on board going into, or fusion with his Eldritch that's on board going into our Albion, and yeah, game just gets really simplified from here. We picked Brandon High Spirits again. My kid decided to come by and see how I was doing. I believe he got the buy this round. He ended up making top 4 though, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we get to this situation. He's asking me to buy Pokemon, even though he doesn't play Pokemon at all. He just likes to collect it. And I'm like, no. So we fusion with his Golden Lord, get it off the board here. We're able to go into an Albion in defense position, along with Albion effect giving us the Titanic Clad here for another way to get free resources onto the board. And we are able to, off this situation, oh no, never mind, we fusion for Mirror Jade, and I believe this is, oh, another Mirror Jade? I can't do that.
Oh,
yeah, I was like, I can't do that. Okay, no big deal though. So we leave the Mirror Jade on board, and we actually banish our graveyard instead then, since that is an illegal summon target for our summon. So we banish the Keeper Dragon Magic, we go into Borload. We go into Borload Furious Striking here, I believe, if I remember right, as just another form of interaction. For a turn, we go normal summon Kit. He does Ash the Kit here. I don't know if he didn't realize I had added the Branded Fusion, but I added Branded Fusion off Albion. And yeah, we're able to just go activate Branded Fusion, and that is a scoop from him from there. There's nothing he can do about that. So yeah, he scoops it up. We go into game 3. And in game 3, we're kind of in a rough position. We're able to go Branded Sword. We're a little bit ahead on life points at this point, though. I believe we're in a T-Taboo slash rivalry face-off. But I ended up, if I remember right, getting to Mirror Jade and was able to banish his Golden Lord. Because as you can see, this is a very simplified game state that we've gone into here. The previous parts of the game weren't very interesting. It was literally just like this as we just slowly grinded resource back and forth. Of me just walling up and him just sitting on rivalry with Zombie World. Okay, overall, to be honest. And then let's go into the binder. Wherever I put it, there it is. So let's go to the binder. There's a card I had to pull out because I did win it on Tuesday that I'll show you guys eventually, but it's not here. To start off with, we have both of our Dashers. I should really pull these out. Both Dashers we've pulled now. No one wants these. No one needs them anymore. Everyone has their Dashers. They have DP. Quadrar, the Fusion Gates. No one wants those. I did trade these. I do not. Oh, they were the waiting the tradings. These ended up getting traded for the Pokemon's. I was totally okay with that. I was those and like one other thing, but yeah, whatever. The Super Poly we picked up. I don't think I'm gonna play Super Poly. It means I have to get more targets. Like obviously I have Dracos Stapelli as an option, but that's only versus Dark decks. I don't think this card's in reality that good outside of the branded mirror. But my side decks are kind of full. These are expensive. I don't want to pick them up. I probably will hold off on this, but I do have one for now that I'll probably just use this trade bait. The double C for double Livineer. I traded 1 and 1 of these for 1 and 1 of these plus one other card for Poly, which sure. I think these at the time were 2 and these were 1, so it was fine. It was a fine trade, 3 for 4. It does kind of suck only having 2 of these because it's a lot harder to move these as not a set, but I was totally okay with taking it. Taya, whatever. Scythe, whatever. One of these got traded away. Titanic Clyde, yeah, whatever. Monk, this is nice. I wish this is like $2. I'm fine with this as a card. Callblade got traded for Borreload Furious. I took one of the Brotars out. I think this also was in this trade if I remember right for the Seafruit and that, but whatever, who cares, it's Brotar. I'm probably never gonna play it. Gold Start, these obviously no one wants them, but they're in there. Triple Black Metal, this actually I think could move. Some people might want these Red Eyes players and such. The rest of our Bode Pulls were these. Terrible, these cards suck. I really wish it was a double master trade would have been crazy. The Manjus, I think we have 5 now. Braid Swords, who cares, who cares? Who cares, who cares, who cares? I have the rest of these, I just haven't put them in yet, because whatever. The one baby we have left for Agro Token, Vampire, just kind of whatever stuff. The page of stuff that we're no longer playing besides this. Obviously these are specific. These are another OTS pull, but Extrav, Warning Point, Raging, Dirk Milian. These are worth money. These aren't worth money, but I can see someone wanting to pick these up. These are kind of nice, just as like generic commons. And I believe that's it for the rest of the binder. Yeah, that's it. That's the binder now. Getting more stuff. If you guys want a little sneaky preview of something we pulled at the other tournament we won, I will give you guys the stats on this bad boy. It is a 1500, 1000 secret rare from Dama. I dips it away to be honest. But yeah, this one is a nice pull. It's like a $10 secret. I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, but either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely give me a like and a subscribe if you did. Make it through the whole thing. Like I said, I will be trying to keep this series consistent on an upload schedule.
When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me, yeah. Don't you see that I need you? No.
Go fast. I only want to see the shiny one. Perfect. Contact though, nice.
Caleb! Danny!
Never an ulti.
There's gonna be an
I think I'm like 20 OTS in on it right now and I haven't seen one yet. Nutrios, so value. No ultis at all. Seems right. I got an ultra collector and change. What happened? I saw the. Oh my god.
Hey, it's Amico.
For just a second, I was
It's
like,
like
wait,
$7 or $8.
Yeah.
Another Pep Ultra.
Why do you get ultras?
I don't know, I don't want them. Oh boy. The wrong adventure card. I pulled like 4 of those now. I feel like.
Yeah, this is
Branded High Spirits.
Hey, Dad,
Really?
Dad.
all the adventure stuff we need.
We do need another cord.
This is true.
I did have to. Lord of the Heavenly Prison, I'll take that.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Oh
I'll take a pull.
my god, there's no way.
Let's go double secret I mean, you're side. so close.
Yeah.
Sword Soul tie up. Okay. I needed that even. You want to open the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, it better be a secret.
One pack left. Let's see what we get.
Oh, garbage. Oh well. I mean, we got the Lord. That's definitely not the worst creature we could have gotten.